Good morning from San Jose in Costa Rica, and I'm here today speaking at the Costa Rica Tech Conference sponsored by Colby, and I'm going to be going on in a few hours time, so follow me along and see what you think. So it's the morning after my keynote here in Costa Rica at Costa Rica Tech, which is sponsored by Colby, which is the big telecoms company here in Costa Rica. It's about 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm still in Dubai time at the moment, so I'm having a very nice cup of Costa Rican coffee here just now. And I thought I'd just come on just to film this little kind of end to this video to explain something you may have been seeing recently in the past few videos. You've been following my work for a while. You know I've been speaking about creativity since really 2018. And then kind of really moving into like creativity and innovation, probably around 2019, 2020, talking about artificial intelligence, a lot more so creativity, innovation, AI, future trends. And if you've been watching closely, you might have noticed a little bit of a transition in the topics that I'm speaking about now. So I'm talking a lot more now as well about sustainability, things like ESG, for example. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason was actually, I often do a co-keynote program with Allison Burns. We call the Ethical Futurist, where we talk about the future from a more ethical, more sustainable perspective. So I cover it from looking at how technology can help us and innovation can help us do more things that are more sustainable in our businesses, in our organizations, in our countries. Whereas Allison kind of comes at it from the perspective of Earth systems, a little more from the social side of ESG as well. It's a really great program. And so as a result of that, I've kind of just been having to spend a lot of time learning and then thinking and reflecting myself about sustainability as well. So that's the first part, is I've been doing that. And so gradually over time, what I've been doing in some of my keynotes, even though I'm speaking about creativity and innovation, I start to feed sustainability into it. Because fundamentally, a question I've always had in my mind is creativity for what purpose? There's something beautiful about just creativity for no purpose, just creating for the sake of creating, and that's a beautiful thing. But most of my clients are businesses, large organizations, Fortune 500 global companies. So for them, creativity and especially innovation has to have a purpose. And so traditionally it was the purpose of increasing profitability in the businesses, being more innovative in terms of the products and the services that they created. But more recently there's been a shift, and a lot of the companies I speak for now are really thinking about how to use creativity and innovation as it relates to making their businesses more sustainable in the long term. So that's everything from how they create more environmentally friendly products in what they do, how they reduce the carbon the businesses are creating as well, all different areas of that. So that's kind of where I was starting to go on this journey, from just speaking purely about creativity to creativity and innovation to innovation, creativity, innovation, AI, now adding sustainability into that as well. And all these things fit into it because sustainability, a lot of the great sustainability projects that I speak about on stages and share with audiences, they combine these things. So it starts with the creativity. Someone has an idea, they have a problem they're trying to solve, they bring together a group of people and they come up with ideas potentially how to solve it. Then they go through these 5 stages of the creative process. And then from that comes into innovation. So a prototype is created, something is built out, and that's tested. And stringing through all of this now is data and AI, because they're using different types of artificial intelligence, machine learning to measure how successful these projects are. So this is one of the reasons. And there's another reason why I've been speaking about sustainability a little bit more often, and I think I'll speak about even more going into next year as well, is I've been really recognizing the value of storytellers and telling the story about why companies and governments and citizens should become more sustainable in their lives. And you can have all the data, and I was like this as well. You know, you hear all these data like the world is heating up by 1.5, and then it's 2.6 or 2.9, then it's 3, and that's it feels kind of abstract in some ways. And this is where I think storytellers, the kind of stuff that I do, can become really powerful, because we can take that data, that numbers, and tell stories about how that relates to real people, real countries, real organizations. And I can tell positive stories, because I don't want to be doom-laden in the keynotes that I give. I want to share inspiring stories that make people go, yeah, we're going to make these changes. I really feel that passion around sustainability. And a good example of this, about why storytellers are so important, is this book I've been reading, which is called The Ministry for the Future. So it's set a little bit in the future, just a few years in the future. There's been a terrible heat wave in India. Millions of people have died as a result of this. We're seeing water shortages around the world, increased weather events as well. Some of the things we're really starting to see now. And a ministry is set up at the UN called the Ministry for the Future, which is there to look at how to be more innovative and creative in the thinking about how we solve some of these problems. So carbon sequestration, for example, or using different ways to not just to adapt to change, but to really actually look to put more carbon back into the earth as well. So it's a really great book. I highly encourage you to read it. And as I was reading, I think this is the value of the storyteller, because for me, this story really connected to me. It told me stories of in this case, fiction stories of people that were having to deal with climate change in different ways. Someone who had to flee from their country because the country was falling to bits because there was no water anymore in that place. Stories of a place I used to live in, Northern California, that was really struggling with droughts. Stories about places in about Asia and Africa, for example, as well. Stories in Switzerland and how they were dealing with it. So this is why I think I have a responsibility now as a keynote speaker, and I'm thinking about this in lots of different ways. And I wanted to bring you in this because if you've been following me for any length of time, you've maybe seen me speaking about these different topics, and so you'll notice a little bit of a change next year as I speak more about sustainability. I'll probably do more podcasts around this topic. I am reflecting personally a lot in terms of the work that I do as a keynote speaker, because the work of a touring keynote speaker is you'll travel to different places to speak. And so now, in the past, I would do maybe 100 keynotes a year. This year, I'll probably do 25 in person. I'll do a lot of virtual ones as well, because I'm just being a little bit more selective about why I decide to travel, because of the impact of travel as well. So there's a whole bunch of things. We all have to take a personal responsibility on this. I'm going out now. I'm going to be traveling to the COP28 conference in Dubai, and I'm going to be learning and talking with people there and speaking at doing some things there as well. So please, I hope you can continue to follow me along on this journey. Definitely check out Ministry for the Future. Great book. It'll get you kind of thinking about this topic of sustainability. And from here in Costa Rica, it's a country I really hope I get a chance to visit again sometime soon, maybe have a bit more of a vacation time, unlike having to work on this particular occasion. Beautiful place, lovely people, and actually it gives me a lot of faith, because this is a country that generates 99% of its energy from renewable sources, from hydro, so it's possible. So from here in Costa Rica, my name's James Taylor, keynote speaker on creativity, innovation and sustainability. Thanks for watching.